All right, it is Wednesday, March 11th, and I am here with the very funny, the very talented Sheryl Underwood. Hello, Sheryl.
Thank you.
This has been really exciting for me. I've been saying all week, I like a crossover. I like the idea of people from different franchises coming in together.
Yes.
And as a producer of The View, I've always been very aware of the talk and watching it and things like that. And having you here has been a lot of fun.
Thank you.
You're now here on Behind the Table making a stop on your I Need a Job tour.
Yes.
Today is your third day guest hosting The View. Mm-hmm. How has it been at the table all week?
It's exactly like I envisioned it, but I have been here before. I believe that The View is how I got the talk.
I heard this for the first time today. I did not know this. Explain this to me.
Okay, so Sherry Shepherd and I, female comics, have been friends for years. So when Caroline's, the comedy club Caroline's up, I was doing Caroline's, and Sherry calls me, and I go, "Oh, I would love to come see the show. Who is the guest?" I said, Reba McEntire. "Oh, I love Reba McEntire." Sure. In my mind, I believe she's my best friend, right? Mm-hmm. And then where you guys were before that, All My Children.
Right.
So, and I was like, oh my God, maybe I'll see somebody from All My Children. So I came to the show, sat in the audience. They put me up close. I got a chance. Reba McEntire touched me when she came out, because that's when everybody high-fived. So she touched me. I was like, this is great. So I heard Sherry and Whoopi lean over to Joy and say, you should put Sheryl on your comedy corner. And I came on twice and did Republican material. And I believe that's how CBS saw that I wasn't just a nightclub performer, that I could do a talk show.
Have you told Joy this? Does she know this?
No, but we have photographs. Yeah. We have photographs of me and Joy together, me and Whoopi together. And Whoopi pulled me to the side and said, "Now that's how you do a set." And what I really loved about it was you all were so welcoming. You hear these stories about people, but I don't like to believe the story until I come to the scene. And everybody was so nice and really cheerleading me on. And I still believe I just took that wide-eyed feeling into the talk at CBS and then bringing it back. So it's a full circle moment.
That's great. How cool is that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's unbelievable. I got to tell Joy, because she's going to love it. She's always giving me a hard time about not doing enough of her comedy corner, so I'll bring it back a little bit more.
She really launched my career in daytime, that people could see that I could do it.
That's amazing. So you mentioned that people have like preconceived notions of what a place is like. Did you have anything about doing this show that's different than what you thought it would be?
No, because I've been a fan since the beginning. I mean, I've been watching it since Meredith Vieira, since Barbara Walters, since everybody. And once I got a chance to host the Daytime Emmys, I think I'm the only person that's ever hosted the Daytime Emmys 5 times. Mm-hmm. I'm cheerleading everybody.
Right.
Daytime is not where careers go to die. It's where dreams come true.
Absolutely.
And we're all on the same team. We might just be playing for different franchises, but we're all on the same team. So I was so excited to come here, and I had known about you. And remember, we had a meeting. Mm-hmm. What would be considered a general meeting, wouldn't you say?
I think so, yeah. It was a meet and greet kind of thing.
Yeah, it was a meet and greet kind of thing. And I just felt like if you ever have something, and look at God.
I had a great meeting, and I put it down, and I said, when we got something, let's bring Sheryl on.
That's right.
And it was great.
It was fun. And I know Sonny.
Yeah.
Sonny, I'm a Zeta, and Sonny's an AKA, so I know Sonny. And then Anna Navarro married my crush.
Yes.
So I wanted to confront her. When I see her, when I get close up on her, I'm going to talk to her.
Yeah, no, you've got scores to settle.
And Whoopi, I remember when Whoopi had a radio show.
Yeah. She was great at that.
And I was a guest on her radio show.
So you have View ties.
Absolutely.
That's great. So I'm curious, because again, and maybe this is just inside baseball, but how is the table at the talk different than the table at the View on how you guys do a show? Is it feel similar? Is it very different? Is it what's it like?
The similarity is if you don't love the person and don't listen. See, you can disagree.
Right.
You can even not like the person. It's like a marriage. You don't like your spouse every day, but you love them every day. So the similarity to me, especially when it's just women talking, we feel what we feel about each other. We agree to disagree, and we want to look good doing it, right? And to me, I would say the only thing that's different, you guys have we had a lot of information,
right?
But you guys have copious amount of information that could change at a moment's notice.
Well, I think it's probably because we're talking about politics and stuff like that, but you guys didn't do as much. And a lot of people like that about the talk, is that it was it was more relaxing kind of.
And it was kind of like
way.
a respite. We would consider a respite. But I will say that once I came, and there were things that I felt we had to talk about.
You talked about social stuff, important social issues.
Absolutely,
a lot. That's right.
Absolutely. We didn't just put our heads in the sand.
No.
And to have Julie Chen Moonves, when you're talking about a journalist like that,
Sure.
and some great thinkers, and we had some controversies, just like The View had controversies.
Yeah.
But that's good TV. That's good live TV.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this, that being on the talk and being a daytime fan, sometimes you got to open a vein. For me to talk about being raped, molested, violated, for me to also talk about being a Black woman, in this day and age, but also the fact that I am a registered Republican who believe in God, gun responsibility, and great government for the people. The government should be there to protect people, right? Not be there to suppress people. But The View has got to stay on the air, and shows like this, because people need a place to go to hear diverse thought, and it's their neighbors talking. We're not just famous people. We're your neighbor.
Well, I agree completely. And I have to say, what makes you so good at this and on the talk and here is your authenticity, and the fact that you, like the ladies that we have here every day, are willing to go out there and tell your truth 100%. And if you don't like it, you don't like it, but this is who you are, and this is what you believe, and this is what you think. And I respect it so much. I don't think there's a harder job in the world.
But it's the most fun job, because you really don't want to polarize. You want to personalize. It's like if we were all sitting at a diner, or we used to sit at the local bar and everybody go throw the bums out, right? So we want to be able to come
different
somewhere
aspects of all
and
of it.
talk about it.
That's right. You mentioned that you're a Republican. We've been introducing you as a lifelong Republican, because I think it's funny. People don't necessarily know that about you unless they've been watching you for a long time.
And most people didn't want to know. I was getting booed for a while, and I had to explain to my audience, because my act is very sexual. It's very profane. It's Richard Pryor. It's at Mom's Maverly. It's very adult and sexual. But then I had this political point of view that I felt we need to discuss it. And after September 11th, it allowed me to do some very political material. Thank you, Jamie Foxx, for putting together, and Marcus King for putting together a show, Laugh-A-Palooza, where I got to talk about that. And people were booing me. There were people that would ask me, how could you be that? And then I had to go backwards and kind of give them the diplomacy of, we were Republicans before we were Democrats. But it doesn't mean you have to agree with me. I just want you to listen to me on different type of topics. Am I saying it right?
Absolutely. No, I think so. And I think it's just all about having respectful, passionate debate.
That's right. That's right. Not that I'm downing someone. I try to give a little bit. I do Clinton jokes. I do Democratic jokes, talking about where the Democrats need to go so that they can come to the center. But also, I think with my political point of view, I'm probably really a blue dog Democrat.
Okay.
Born in the South, grew up in the Midwest. I'm probably a blue dog Democrat, but I'm a registered Republican, and I believe I'm the person that need to be in the Republican Party going, who decided we're going to do this? We're going to lose. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But there used to be a time, I'm like an Arthur Fletcher. He's the father of affirmative action. He's the one that brought affirmative action to Nixon. I'm like a Senator Edward Brooks. I'm like a, Dr. King. I'm like when Republicanism was different. When you hear people say, oh, don't be woke. Well, the Republican Party was woke when it battled against slavery. It was woke when it championed women's rights. That's when we were woke in a good way.
That's a really good point. And I think it's interesting, just in this world, people want to throw a label on everybody, but there's nuance to all this.
Absolutely.
We've had all these Republican guest hosts out while Alyssa's is on maternity leave, and the reaction from the audience has been so different, because they're used to Alyssa, who feels a certain way about the president. We've had people on the show that have been big fans of the president. Now, you, a longtime Republican, you've been speaking out against what you think are mistakes that are going on right now in the country.
He should be. Listen, once you become the president, then I will back your play. But I think we have a right as Americans to say to our leaders, you're wrong. And I can't wait to get to the ballot box to tell you you're wrong. I have to tell you you're wrong now. If those men had not went to Nixon and said, we're not going to back you, okay, he would have still been in office. You have to give the leaders some guardrails. And you would think that if Trump having the situation that he had, wouldn't that touch your heart and make you a better person? God has let you live. Lead better. Don't dig into your troublesome side. Let me say that. Don't dig into that. Don't dig your heels into that. Become a better leader. And look at the other presidents who may have been doing something crazy, and then they thought, I got to change. I got to be a better leader. You're the leader of the free world. Live up to that.
Judd Apatow recently said that Trump has made comedy harder because things feel so serious now. What's your take on this? Is the political climate changed comedy for you at all, or the way you approach it?
No, I think really, we're talking about specifically President Trump.
I think that he was.
I think he's made comedy more lucrative because he does crazy stuff all the time that we can joke about. And I think for some, I like these guys that are in comedy. I know people say don't use certain words, but certain words are funny. There used to be comedy books where they would tell you which word. Moose is a funny word. Boob is a funny word. Then you see society change. Like, I have a disabled sister. I tell jokes about her. When you're using profane language, I believe, use the profane word that goes with it. Why? It's not meant to be politically correct. But I do believe that our politicians are giving us a cornucopia of hilariousness because you're going to do or say something stupid. Look at the George Carlins. Look at the Mort Sauls. Look at those comedians, the Dick Gregorys. So I think comedy is very fruitful right now. And no. And do you get canceled? No. They may not like you today, but they're going to love me tomorrow. Come see the show. And I tell people, come see the show. In the beginning of my set, I tell people what words I'm going to use. And I talk to them about, you may not like everything, but hold on. And a good dirty joke, a good sexual joke, to me, equalize. It brings everybody to
together.
The same position.
Yep. I like that. One thing that's been great this week is that you've been able to share your perspective on what's happening in Iran. And it was interesting to hear from you because you served.
Yes.
You were in Air Force Reserve.
Yes.
How has service shaped the way you look at something like this?
I saw pictures of my dad and his brothers in their Army uniform. My mother married a man who was stationed at Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska. And that's how we got to Castle Air Force Base. And then I went into the reserve. I met my husband. He was active duty. And I went into the reserve a little bit after that. He proposed at Maxwell Air Force Base. I went in at Travis Air Force Base. And for people that say, well, she didn't do this, she do that. One thing I want people to know, it's a name of something. Because what's this thing what do they name it now? HEXF, what do they call it? Something, Epic Fury?
Epic Fury, Operation Epic Fury.
Okay, when it's called Operation this, it doesn't mean you go to that location. It means you're under that thing, right? So for me, being under that thing, I always wanted to serve my country. And that's also where I found that I could entertain. I went in thinking, if I want to be part of MWR, it's Morale, Welfare, and Recreation. Morale, Welfare, Recreation. And I thought I would be able to transfer from a medic to doing that. What I learned is the troops need us. They need to get mail. They need to get good thoughts from us. They may not agree with the mission, but they put their hand up to uphold the Constitution. So for me, what I loved about being of service in the various ways that I served, it shapes your life because you meet people from other places and you have to depend on somebody you don't know or don't agree with how they believe, but you got to come together for everybody to come home.
Absolutely. No, I have such respect for everybody who serves, and it's been really wonderful having you at the table to talk about that.
And whether it's active duty or reserve,
of course,
you got to understand that when one serves, all serves, the family serves. And we have to have more respect for people that are going to give their life for their country, and respect them when they come back.
Absolutely. All right. So yesterday on the show, changing gears a little bit, we talked about and got a lot of attention for talking about what happened on the talk with the exchange with Sharon Osbourne.
Wait a minute, did you hear Joy say God canceled?
God canceled the talk.
I thought an executive in a room canceled the show, but I didn't know God was. But can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I had a lot of people calling me, and I was like, first of all, it's how you handle it.
Yeah.
I believe in a good Jack Benny, right? Remember Jack Benny? He wouldn't say everything, but maybe he would just turn and look. Sometimes it's less said
You did a
the
nice
better.
little turn and look. Yes, you did.
What did the kids say? Say less.
Say less.
I just thought that was kind of fun. But here's the thing. I didn't know a job was even open at the talk.
Really?
I didn't know. And I tell this story on the road sometimes. I didn't know a job was open at the Talk. I didn't even know that I was being offered a job or considered for a job. Then I get a job. I've never done it before. I'm calling Sherry. What do you do? How do you do this every day? She's giving me advice and counsel, and I thought the Talk was made because it was some moms
I
getting
think that's
together.
how they started, right? Or
That's how
the
they
idea.
started. But then you get a Sheryl Underwood in the mix who wants to talk about gun responsibility because I believe in gun ownership. I want to talk about my belief in God. I remember the first cooking segment I did, and I bowed my head to bless my food before I ate it. And people were looking at me like, what are you doing? I'm blessing my food because I'm about to eat in the cooking segment. So I think familiarity, it doesn't breed contempt. It's a form of flattery that we can duplicate this, and there's enough money in daytime for everybody. But I love that Joy feels the way she feels. Why? Because it's just like all about Eve. It's just like, who are these bitches? Good. Feel that way. That's friendly camaraderie.
I think so too. No, it's funny. I'm like I said, I used to work with David Letterman for a long time.
Yes.
I've met Jay Leno several times. He's a very nice man. I like him very much, but I don't like him very much because he was the other guy.
That's
he was
right.
that, and I can't get rid of that. That's
right.
just who I am.
That's right. That's right. It's like in a football team.
It is. It's. I don't like the Red Sox. I'm a Yankee fan, and
there-
that's what it is.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
you were on the Red Sox, but that's all right.
Okay.
You had a lot of
Yes.
success.
Yes.
I mean, you that show went 15 years.
Yes.
Won so many Emmys, had so much success, and at times beat The View. I mean, that
Yes.
happened too. So,
But that's friendly competition.
It is.
Iron sharpens iron.
I think so.
But look at the last women seated, not the last men standing. The last women seated. And we've got to work together to keep the genre alive so that everybody can work to feed their family.
Yeah, and Barbara Walters always said that there was room for everyone in this.
Absolutely.
And she said that publicly often.
And look at how many news shows are taking what you all do.
It does seem like that a
It
little
is.
bit. Yeah, it does seem like that. And then The Real was very successful for a long time
Absolutely.
too. So
Absolutely.
you're right. In the
Yes.
different versions, different conversations.
That's right.
But I love that it was all women. And then,
Yes.
then it changed for you guys at the end, and you added guys in that. How did that work? Because over the years, people have said that about The View too. Like they should add a guy at the table and things like that.
Well, I would say when they brought it to me to ask me what did I think about Jerry O'Connor, what did I think about Akbar Bajabiamila,
Yeah.
I said, listen, that's above my pay grade. I don't run
Sure.
nothing but my mouth over here. If you like it, I love it, I'll try it.
Yeah.
I think we did something good. But I also understand the financial climate that we're in.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you got to, it's no longer a time of visionaries who have unlimited budgets.
No, the
It's a
industry's
return
changed.
on, that's right,
100%.
return on investment.
Yep.
But also I think sometimes you have to understand, try it. If it doesn't work, you can always go back
That's
to
right.
what works. And you all got a chance to sing, oh, well, we're not doing that. Right? We're not doing that. And now you're still
You're like,
on
oh,
the
good
air.
luck with that. And
That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But everything that I learned over at CBS, and I cherish it, I appreciate it, and then I get to come here.
It's great. And again, to do any of these jobs for the amount of time you've done them successfully is such rarefied air. Because you know this. I'm sure you had people drop in at the Talk that thought it was easy and then
Yes.
realized, oh, no, this is hard.
Hard work.
It's really hard.
Concentration.
And to do it right and to do it
Yes.
well and to have a chemistry with the people at the table that you may not really have chemistry with.
That's
and
right.
to find those things is very hard to do, which is why it's been so great to have you this week.
And I don't regret, I would want people to know this. Even when my feelings were hurt, I don't regret going through that experience because you carry that other places. So any other comedy show I'm on, any other TV show I'm on, I know how to play my position. I know how to stop taking things personally. And don't let a thumb thug break your heart. Don't let somebody on a computer or a keyboard break your heart because they're living rent-free somewhere and they think they have some type of power.
No, that's right. That's right. So we did talk about the drama with Sharon yesterday a little
Yes.
bit on the show. And I want to be
Yes.
clear. You were okay with us talking about that,
Yes,
right?
I
Yeah, because I
was.
saw a lot of that, like Sonny
Yes, I-
ambushed her. I'm like, Sonny didn't ambush her. You were fine talking about that. Yeah.
Well, what people don't know that there are meetings to
Yeah.
talk about things.
What we're
things-
gonna talk about.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
things do go through legal and standards and practice and,
Always on
and
this
things
show,
like
yeah.
that. But I will tell you that a off the cuff remark or a follow up that's not on the card is what you got to understand, that it's not personal, but maybe maybe God sent them something that they had to say before we get to commercial. So no, I didn't feel any type of way. I didn't take anything personal. I'm glad that Sunny was next to me because I felt safe with her asking me anything.
When that happened, we never talked about it on the show.
Right.
And that
we didn't have time.
No, but I'm saying when this was actually going on, The View never talked about it.
Really? Why not?
Because it felt like I felt like that's them and we shouldn't do it. I thought we should give you guys grace in that moment.
Can I tell you something of everything, and I've never talked about this, of everything that we went through and all the changes and all of the things that linked to certain things that were happening at the same time and all the rotation, I would have been okay with my colleagues. We talk about everybody else.
Yeah. Okay.
We would have been talking about when things happen. It would have been a topic of discussion. It's how you talk about it.
Yeah.
And the fact that you gave us the grace to say, these are our colleagues. But when things were happening with us, you could have, because I think you have respect.
I think we would have done it well if we did it,
Absolutely.
But I didn't want to. I mean, because there's always a story about every show, and
It
I
was
just
an
didn't want to.
explosion.
Yeah.
It was an explosion. I knew that it was bigger than anything I'd ever been involved in.
Do you know in the moment that it was happening, or no?
In the moment, I felt very protective over Sharon. And I tell the story when we went to breakfast at Polo Lounge and she vomited on me, and I had never met her. Right. But I was like, oh, my God, maybe her and Ozzy, and Ozzy was so nice to me, and Jack and Kelly and everybody that I met. All of the ladies, I call us the Dream Team 5, Judy Chen Moonves, Aisha Tyler, Sharon Osbourne, and Sarah Gilbert. We were the Dream Team 5. I do love everybody that I came across on the show. But when it was happening, it was kind of an out-of-body experience and a post-traumatic stress. What is happening? I didn't do this. Right. I didn't do this. That's why I'm writing a book, so that I can tell the story and maybe reflect on it and then learn from it and go, now that you've learned that, now you can feel when something's happening and you don't have to double down on it. You don't have to jump in on it. And a lot of people protected me. And that's when I found the love of the country. But some people trolled me. Some people, I had no idea that people felt that I had done some things. And I was like, I don't have that power. You know what I mean? When you notice, number 1 through 5 on the call sheet, people think you have more power. It's people who try to wield that power. I didn't know I had that kind of power that people were telling me, you did this to her and got her fired. I didn't do that. I don't have that type of power, right?
Right.
So for me, I would say watching it or being involved in it, out-of-body experience. But I feel God was preparing me for this and going, get ready. Something bigger's coming. I need you to be a better you.
Well, when that book comes out, I want you to come here and talk about it.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll do that for sure.
I'm fat because of you is the book. But I also want to thank you for helping me promote I Need a Job tour.
Absolutely.
Because I definitely need a job. I still have financial responsibilities and taking care of my sister. And we have to let the industry know I still exist.
We'll put stuff out there where people can find tickets.
Absolutely.
And see we'll put it in the description of the podcast today too. But absolutely.
And before we go, can I say this too? I want to thank you all for having me here, because we're making gospel plays that are going to come out. I may be an adult comic, but I love the Lord. So we got gospel plays coming out, and we have Sheryl Underwood's Great American Talent Search.
Oh, really?
Yes. And that's where I take everything I learned from being in daytime. We're going to take it into cities, working with radio stations.
That's awesome.
And the first place we're doing it in June, Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Oh, that's great.
And it's an American thing, but you have to master the past, and it's an old-fashioned variety show.
I love that.
So if you twirl plates, come on. If you sing, come on. If you lip sync, come on. This is a Great American Talent Search, and everybody can do it.
My first big job in talk shows, I was the producer of the Stupid Human and Pet Tricks.
Yes.
So I used to meet people that could do the craziest, most fun things. I love old school variety.
Well, then I might have to pick your brain.
I think so.
Because we'll start with this locally. It's community friendly, small business friendly.
That's where you find the best people.
That's right.
Yeah,
there you go. And people can win money. When the financial times are dark, people still dream of being rich and famous. Your dream does not die for somebody else's dream to live. Come on, let me find your talent. See you in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. We got 2 more days with you here, which
Absolutely.
is great.
I'm so happy. Everybody's been so nice. Don't believe the hype. The View is a very
We're
wonderful
lovely
place.
people.
That's right.
And you're going to do the Weekend View too, which is great.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely.
And I love that you allowed me to do your podcast. I'm going back into radio, and then I'm going to have my own podcast called One More Question.
I will be
with
listening.
Kyle Irby, me and Kyle Irby.
Oh, awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. Well, thank you for joining me today,
Thank you for
Sheryl.
having me.
You can see Sheryl all over the country on her I Need a Job tour. We'll put the link up to her dates right here in the episode description, and we'll talk about some more on The View. Tomorrow, I'll be here with Anna Navarro, and we've got Anna Navarro, and we'll confront her soon about stealing your man. We'll see you then.